Fight man in boxing, led the Flair Cops. Shout out to Goodfellas Sports TV.
All right, man, let's talk about Lomachenko says, ain't no can go to 140. His Pacquiao, my Pacquiao voice. He said 135 is his limit. It's really not his weight class, but he'd be open to going down and trying to make the cut to 126 and then potentially fighting the Inoue way. So let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. He made Lomachenko, I think he made Rigondeaux come up to 130, didn't he? Something like that. So, I mean, like I said before, you know, he get the excuse of, well, he's too small for 35. He's not a real 35-pounder. Everything going on in Ukraine. He's small. Devin the welterweight. This ain't his real weight class. I mean, it's a bunch of excuses. Same excuse they used to make about Manny Pacquiao. Draining motherfuckers. And he not beating dudes, you know, who 100%. That's why his career ain't as great as they make it seem. There's no way he could survive in there with Thomas Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and Benitez if they're allowed to weigh what they come in how they come. He can't beat those guys. I mean, even De La Hoya was allowed to be his regular self at 47. It would have been a problem, or 54 at the time. It would have been a problem. But when people look at BoxRec and it doesn't tell the whole story of the event, and that's just the nasty truth about BoxRec. It tell you who won or lost, but not everything that goes into it. So, I mean, but ain't popping that shit today. A little hair bump under there, but quite frankly, man, looking at it, I mean, it just continue to look like a coward's move. I mean, you know, you want to go all the way down and call out a guy right now. What are you campaigning at, 122? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you know, but him and Fulton be a fight that Fulton would be open to. You know, would that be a money fight? I don't understand. Inoue make a ton of money, make people a ton of money going over to Japan and fighting over in Japan. So I do understand from that aspect of it. That makes a lot of sense for him. It's a lot of money in there. But to me it just looked weak, you know. But he in the check cashing business, you know what I'm saying? He needed a check too at the end of his career. You know, and you know, people say, well, it's unfair for him to go up to 140 pounds, I guess, but nobody really made that excuse for Mayweather. When Mayweather was, you know, weighing in at 150, you know, 150 pounds, you know, the night of the fight or some shit like that, and fighting guys way bigger. It's funny how they have built-in excuses for certain guys who got the complexion for the protection. To me, it's funny. He said, next thing you guys know, talking about going to 140, next thing you know, you're going to be guys asking me to fight Fury and Usyk. Like I said, that's how a fighter is measured, about how great he can move up and move down. But you wasn't willing to move down and accommodate Guillermo Rigondeaux. You know what I'm saying? But to his credit, you know, he didn't make Salido miss weight, and he didn't put a rehydration clause on Salido. So at least he consistent from that standpoint of view. He didn't put one on Teofimo Lopez that we know of neither. So, but I get it. You know, I bring a lot of money. He got to get past Fulton. I don't think that's a given. But, you know, to be calling out a 122 pound, a guy who ain't even made the debut at 122 pounds, I don't fully like it, but I understand it. I don't fully like it, but I 100% understand it. I get it. But, you know, moving on with it, I mean, when you look at it, you know, really ain't no names at 130. I mean, Leo Santa Cruz, and the last time he fucking fought, I don't even remember. I mean, at 35, I mean, he could still fight. He still could fight Shakur Stevenson. So that's something to look at as well, too. So it ain't a bunch of names there. And he right. He ain't a fit at 140. He get toe up at 140. He ain't skilled enough to compete up there. His skill set is to come forward and walk guys down. It's not like Mayweather where he sit there. His defense is so exceptional. His game is so nice. Even his, you know, his speed, his perpetual, his movement is not It don't scream he can move up and do, his game. He can't move up and do what Duran did, and he ain't that skilled. How he said, oh, he's the best fighter since Muhammad Ali and all that. He ain't that. He ain't that skilled. He not gonna be able to walk down Regis Prograis and walk down guys like Puello. He gonna have to beat them with real skill. And I don't really think he got the skill set to do so. When you talk about, defense, offense to defense, boxing, keeping dudes in the middle of the ring, standing on the outside, picking guys apart, then breaking them down. The truly great ones can move up without putting catch weights and rehydration clauses on guys and continue to win. The guys that continue to rise through the weight classes, continue to dominate. They used to be what really pound for pound meant. You rising and beating bigger guys and rising through the weight classes, collecting belts, collecting trinkets, collecting accolades, collecting the media and the fan respect, going through weight classes. Shane Mosley, Roberto Duran, Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I'm saying? And the only exception to the rule was Marvin Hagler. The 168 pound was a dominant European division. But that's what boxing used to be about: moving up and dominating guys who naturally bigger than you. And a lot of these guys, man, they ain't even gonna have 2 weight divisions, on a resume. They draining themselves, whatever reason it may be. But him talking about going down a couple weight classes and fighting a dude who ain't even made his 122 pound debut is bananas to me. It's truly bananas. But I mean, I ain't mad at him, but because you look at 130, who there? Shakur Stevenson gone. Maybe he should be talking about fighting Shakur Stevenson next if he win. I really ain't heard him speak much about that if he win, if he gonna fight Shakur Stevenson. Or would he vacate and go back down and wait? And look for money fights. I mean, when you look at a Gary Russell rematch, I don't know what he got to offer. I mean, once you start looking down there, who down there? You got O'Sheik Foster, you got Hector Luis Garcia. I mean, it's nothing down there. And at 126, you still got Ray Vargas, even though he lost O'Sheik, he still hold the belt at 126. I mean, you start looking down there, well, ain't really much down there. What's down there? Ask yourself that. What's down there? So, I mean, I get it. And even at 140, financially, what's there? I mean, you would think, outside of Inoue, it's really Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, and that's pretty much it. Even going down to 130 and 126, I mean, I guess Leo Santa Cruz, I don't really think his interest there. Gary Russell rematch, he ain't doing nothing with Chris, no interest there. Colbert lost. It's no lost team. It's really nothing down there. So really 35 is the best place for him to be, but asking Inoue to, let's say he beat Foden and then immediately come up to 126. I mean, come on. Do you think that's asking a bit much? That guy, moved up what? 1, 2. I think this might be his 3rd weight class. This legitimately might be his 3rd weight class. Then ask him to move up to his 4th, and you only moved up 3, 26. So, in the same vein, we should be able to ask you to move up to 140 pounds. To be honest, we should be able to ask you to move up to 140 pounds. That shouldn't be too much to ask. To be real. But it is what it is. People say, well, yeah, he brought up, he ducked Manny Pacquiao. And, if he don't feel comfortable at the weight, so be it. As long as he ain't picking and choosing guys at a particular weight and picking and choosing to fighting certain guys and not fighting certain guys, I mean, he don't feel like he can carry the weight. He know physically what he can do in sparring. He know physically what he can do in the gym. He know far bigger guys and know where his limit is at. So, but obviously he throwing his name in the Inoue sweepstakes. He trying to go over to Japan and get a big check. But I want to see what he want to do about Shakur Stevenson. Because even if he lose, I'm pretty sure, I think Bob still got plans for them to cross paths. Because I don't think, nobody think Devin Haney going to just run through him. Or he just can't make another dollar in boxing. I mean, I really think you can consider that a pick'em fight. You know, people say, well, Lomachenko lost a step. And Lomachenko had, we was talking about the Comey fight, that he didn't finish Comey, whatever. But last fight, he had a quick turnaround from leaving war. So, who knows? One performance don't mean you fell off. Well, you know, people were saying Floyd Mayweather was old man after he fought Miguel Cotto. That he wasn't the same fighter. He ain't had no legs left. So, you can't just judge all these dudes by one performance. But, you know, a lot of people like Haney just to destroy him. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised about how competitive that fight is. But, you know, if Lomachenko win, I can see him escaping and vacating and moving down and you know, going down there. But I think Bob going to want him to fight Shakur Stevenson. So maybe him and Bob will, you know, finally butt heads about something. And Bob, I told you, Lomachenko, you're fighting Shakur Stevenson. I don't give a fuck if you want to go back to the Ukraine. You're fighting Shakur Stevenson. But let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, you want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.